Hey, hey, gang, as we segue into a fresh season of educating our audience around the power of LinkedIn for lead generation, it is my pleasure to bring to you some episodes around the power of LinkedIn today and why small business owners should be resorting to this platform, number one, for organic lead generation, where they are seen amongst the masses in competition because they aren't competing on saturated platforms. I hope you guys really enjoy these next couple of episodes where we're really leaning in and getting you guys excited for the use of the LinkedIn platform to 10x your lead generation with ease.
Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned six-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. I am one of those coaches who's actually doing what I'm teaching. I'm not teaching you something I'm not doing. You are here today because of our methodologies, right? So we want to help you create this 90-day pipeline, rich, full of leads on LinkedIn. So here's some facts I want you guys to write down. I want you to write down the number 23. Number 23. LinkedIn is the number 23rd most visited website on the planet. I want that to sink in. It is the 23rd most visited website on the planet, mostly because it's a search engine. It's not just social media. And we're going to talk about that. I also want you to write down the number 1. This is number 1, LinkedIn's highest revenue and highest number of engagers ever on the planet of existence of LinkedIn was this year. Okay. Highest number of engagers, number 1 year in revenue for the company. Okay. We're going to talk about why today. We're going to talk about all of it, right? Also under that number 1, I want you to write this down and you can fact check me all you want. The number 1 most trusted social media platform voted by social media users 5 years in a row. Number 1. Okay. Biggest year in revenue yet. We talked about that. Online businesses are booming right now. So let's talk a little bit about the state of the economy, right? Has it not been an interesting 3 years? It's been a really interesting 3 years for the economy, for business. But one thing we know from an article from World Economics not too long ago is that although we're seeing a downturn in the economy, where are we seeing an uptick? We're actually seeing a massive uptick in growth in online entrepreneurship, right? In online entrepreneurship. And there's never been a better place to be scaling or growing a business than in the online space. And there's never been a better place than LinkedIn to have your business and be a business owner and be seen and generate leads. And we're going to talk all about it. Okay. So here's the thing I want you guys to write down that a lot of people are not aware of. LinkedIn is counter-cyclical. So you can write that word down, counter-cyclical. Okay. In a down economy, the activity of LinkedIn goes up. Why do you think that the activity goes up? People are searching for more help in community, job security. They are networking for a plan B. They are networking to be networking, right? To ensure that they are well connected in case they need to be doing something else. Okay. I want you keeping this in mind because over the next year, and we saw this in 2019, it's happening again. In 2019, we saw this massive spike with LinkedIn use because when there is disruption, people question everything. In a down economy, people question everything. Okay. I'm kind of zigging and zagging right now, but here's the thing. A lot of people think LinkedIn is just a B2B platform. They're like, I shouldn't be on LinkedIn. I'm not a business. What they don't realize is that your end customer is over there, especially frantically in a down economy. And your visibility is through the roof because every other person marketing and trying to sell something is over on Instagram and Facebook. And you're trying to compete with that versus the wide open blue ocean of LinkedIn that's not saturated, where activity is through the roof, visibility is through the roof, organic reach is through the roof. Who's excited? Are you guys excited yet?
All right, guys, back with another inspirational soundbite from a client who's crushed the LinkedIn game, climbing the ranks in her business, crushing her financial goals. And I think you'll find it interesting that it's not just strategy. However, she's going to talk to you about strategy and exactly what she's doing in less than 45 minutes a day to scale her business around her 9 to 5. But I love that she hits on some things outside of strategy. It's around culture and mindset and organization and systems. Hope you guys enjoy this.
The mindset training and the goal set was my most favorite thing. I dove right in. As soon as I saw the mindset training, I went, this is where I need to be. And then the culture and the community. Oh my gosh. The culture and community is so strong. Not only are we amazing in class together, but we also spread out outside of class and we have little separate one-on-ones with each other and we call each other for support. It's just a beautiful thing. I have to say it has changed my business twofold. I advanced to the highest rank I could get in my business, which was amazing. And I did it because I wasn't really organized enough to know what to do and when to do it. So once you dive into these modules, you will see that there's specific systems and they're simple, they're easy. But as soon as you start following them, you realize that there's things that maybe it's follow up, maybe it's not answering your DMs, things like that, or follow through. There's a lot of things you can do. So some of the best practices that I've leaned on that have really helped me is every morning I grab a cup of coffee and I spend about 45 minutes on LinkedIn. I don't spend a lot of time. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've had a lot of wins though. So I post consistently and then I follow up with people who've liked my post, who engage with me. I engage with other people and their posts and I start connections. Even though I had a lot of connections in my network on LinkedIn, they were not active and they were not my avatar. So what I've done is through Melissa's training is I've defined my avatar. I speak clearly to my avatar. They respond back. We immediately connect. And did you ever work with someone as a business builder and you think, gosh, we're right in sync. Like we're talking the same talk. We're walking the same walk. It becomes so much easier. They're there for business.
Yes. So let me tell you a little bit about my story and maybe why you should lean in and learn this method. Okay. I was a corporate leader. I have a doctorate. I've got a master's. I was working a 9 to 5 and realized I wanted to take my skills to the internet and scale my own business. And so that is exactly what I did. I scaled my business in e-commerce to 6 figures and then it began to flatline. Has anybody else experienced that? Like you've got this magic touch and then it flatlines, right? Everybody who's a marketer selling anything started to figure it out, right? And now the competition is fierce over on Instagram and Facebook. I hit a wall and I actually tried doing what had worked for me in the past over and over and over again. Until I realized what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So what I decided to do instead of being insane was do things differently and expect different results. And it hit me one day, especially being a corporate professional, that, there's this whole other social media platform that I don't really see a lot of people using, that a lot of people have an account for. Did you know that the majority of people who have a LinkedIn account also have a Facebook and Instagram account? Did you know that? We're going to talk a little bit about this in a minute, but the visibility of your content is through the roof on LinkedIn. and it's minuscule on Facebook and Instagram. So I had this light bulb moment that it's a non-saturated platform and that my kind of people, and it's a trustworthy platform that I like hanging out on. People are kind, they're nice, they're engaging, and people there are really focused on personal development. And I know the user of LinkedIn. We're going to talk about the demographic today, but they're working professionals with discretionary funds to invest. You're self-selecting by being on the platform. And it's a platform where people are taking action. They're there to take action. They're not there to numb out. So sometimes in business, what do we have to do? We've got to slow down to speed up, right? So I slowed down and took every LinkedIn course known to man and realized, maybe you guys have done this. How many of you have taken other LinkedIn trainings? And you're like, now I know how to make a profile, but I still don't know how to market myself, right? What I learned was that all the LinkedIn training out there was like how to set up a profile, how to get your next job. It was all focused for an employee. Like the training wasn't out there for attraction marketing to land ideal clients. And so that's where I had to get to work, knowing what I knew, scaling my first business with attraction marketing and fine tuning and applying it to LinkedIn. I committed to LinkedIn for 365 days. And in that process, I doubled my income in my e-commerce business and retired myself from corporate America at the age of 35. From there, we went on to launch multiple businesses and scale to $1 million in sales in 19 months. Now, why am I sharing that with you? I'm not sharing it with you to brag. I'm sharing it with you to validate that the method works, and it works for all of our clients who come through and they apply the methodology, right? So with that, we've moved forward and we have multiple businesses using our method, whether it's our agency, it's our academy, it's our mastermind, everything I'm teaching you, we apply in our own business, right? Okay. Let's talk about GDP for a second. This is the last thing I want to hit on. Then we're going to get into the actual design of the LinkedIn method. Okay. Here's the thing. So we know GDP is dropping right now, right? I want to talk a minute about the economy. GDP drops. As GDP drops, what happens? I want you guys to think about this for a minute. I want you to think as business owners about your competitors. Okay. I want you to think about your competitors for a minute. What we know in business is that as the economy dips, as inflation goes up, as GDP drops, many business owners do what? Many business owners actually pull back in investing in marketing. They pull back in investing in sales. Okay. I hope that's not you, because here's the deal. This is what I want you guys to think about. First of all, again, congratulating you for being here.
Okay, gang, we need to take a quick hydration break. So grab your drink of choice. And as you rehydrate, I'll give you the lowdown on my free LinkedIn lead gen masterclass. If you feel like you're screaming into the void when you post content on Facebook or Instagram, struggling to find a sustainable and scalable lead generation process that sticks, and you just want someone who's been there and done that to reveal their secrets, then it's critical that you register to save your spot ASAP. During this live masterclass, you'll get to steal the exact strategy I used to scale my income from $0 to 1 million in just 19 months without spending a fortune on ads or suffering from burnout. Simply check out the show notes of the podcast episode for the link to register for your free spot in the LinkedIn Lead Gen Masterclass. And don't worry, even if you miss a couple of days or you can't make it to all the training sessions, we'll deliver the replays directly into your inbox daily so you can watch them on your own time. All you have to do is make sure you sign up for the masterclass before registration ends.
But like my uncle, who's a financial advisor, always said, never let a good disaster go to waste. Never let a good crisis go to waste, right? What's happening is many people in business are pulling back for fear. What happens to the competitors in the market who actually lean in while the rest of the competitors lean out? What happens is, my friends, you get a larger market share. Why do you think we have the largest number of participants in our masterclass right now? Because our competitors who are online coaches are pulling back their time and effort. Whereas all these amazing concierges, we leaned in. We doubled down. For every 1% drop in GDP, we actually apply 10% more into our business. Because while everyone else is leaning out, we're leaning in, and you get market share. You get visibility on LinkedIn because you're leaning in and you're active more than your competitors. Is this making sense? Let's get into the actual LinkedIn method. Okay. So I want to talk with you for a minute about the 3 core principles that are the basics of our LinkedIn method, the actual method. There are 3 basic steps that we call basically build, drive, and automate. Build, drive, and automate. So let me talk you through this for a hot minute. We teach our clients how to build what we call lovingly your virtual storefront. Okay. What is your virtual storefront? If you are in business, this is going to be a really great exercise for all of you guys. What's interesting is LinkedIn on SEO, it's very well favored. So a good exercise for you guys is to Google your name and see how quickly your LinkedIn profile shows up. Okay. Google your name, Google your business, and see how far up in SEO your LinkedIn profile is. So we call your profile your virtual storefront. What we teach inside of our academy is how to build your car, right? Your brand, your storefront before you start driving it. We teach inside of our academy to build your profile first. Why do we want you to build your brand, build your message before we drive the platform, which is strategically growing your network? Why do we want you to do that? What do you do when someone requests to connect with you? When someone requests to connect with you, what is the very first thing you do? What's the very first thing you do? I know I'm not alone on this. What do? We check out people's profiles, right? You check them out. The fatal mistake a lot of people make when they come into some of our training is they get to driving, they get to growing their network. And here's the problem. If your virtual storefront is not tight with your value proposition, who you serve, how you serve them, and the transformation they can expect, you're actually losing priceless engagement. Because when you go to request to connect with people, you're missing the opportunity for them to lean in to learn more about what you have to offer because you haven't optimized your profile first. Is this making sense? So we optimize our profile first. We build our car first so that when people land on your virtual storefront within 2 to 3 seconds, they know who you serve, how you serve, and a very clear call to action, how to connect with you. Now, once we build our virtual storefront and people know who we serve, how we serve, right? And they can literally jump into their screen because they want what you have to offer. Then we can move into driving the strategic network growth. We can begin driving your brand. But it's very important in the build phase that you are very clear what your content pillars are before you drive your content in phase 2. So hopefully I'm making sense. But we have to know what those content pillars are before we can drive phase 2, the content. So we're going to build our car or build our platform, build our brand first. And we're going to build our storefront, build our content pillars, right? That's phase 1. Phase 2, we're going to drive the platform. We're going to grow your audience, grow your brand, or drive your car, right? What's the sweet spot? The sweet spot is actually in the final phase, which is what we call automation or autopilot. So once you're driving on LinkedIn and you've nailed your verbiage that converts in the DMs, you've nailed your recruitment tactics on strategic growth to get, by the way, the right audience seeing your content. Now, this is another thing a lot of people miss. Guys, you can have the most profound content on the planet And if you're not balancing that with strategic network growth, you might as well be walking into a stadium with a big old billboard and there's nobody in the audience. Okay. I've seen it over and over and over again. I've worked with 7-figure brands that come to me who are influencers over on Instagram and say, I don't get it, Melissa. I post the same content over here that I posted on Instagram and no one's engaging. And I say, that's interesting. What are you doing to grow your network? And they're like, And I'm like, yeah, what are you doing to grow your audience? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, okay, when was the last time you set up your LinkedIn account? When was the last time you grew your network? This particular multiple 7-figure earner that I had this conversation with said, well, I guess when I was applying to nursing school. Okay. So that was a decade ago. And probably your network on LinkedIn is a bunch of people from a decade ago who are from like your undergrad nursing school network. Now you're a high ticket business coach who charges $100,000 for people to spend a year with you. And you've got high ticket coaching programs, but you are way above and beyond the audience that you currently have on LinkedIn. Is this making sense to you guys? Her content can be so transformative, so value added. She can be an absolute thought leader, but if it lands on the wrong network from a decade ago, which by the way, probably 3/4 of them aren't even using the platform, you've got a dead audience. So that drive, level 2, that drive, the car drive, the audience is very important. So it is the yin and yang, guys. Your branding and your messaging is very important, but your strategic network growth is just as important. You can't have one and not have the other. But the beauty is it's very simple. And all you have to do is stay consistent. Okay. So that third level is automation. The third level is you've got your content pillars, you're weekly pushing your content out. Now, this is the sweet spot that our clients can speak to as the leads are coming to you. You are no longer chasing the leads. They are coming to you in droves. So much so, you get to a sweet spot where you can't keep up with your DMs. You've got so many people coming in curious about what you have to offer that you need to automate and pre-qualify who deserves time with you. And so in phase 3, we teach how to automate and to pre-qualify leads through a funnel so that you can have a pre-screen process for people to pop into your calendar during times that work for you and a follow-up formula and tracking system for all of that. Guys, you know what's kind of funny is that the lead generation for our client is what births our agency. We actually launched an agency because our clients were like, we have so many leads, we can't handle them and our business. So we were like, well, would it help if we had some VAs that could help you? And it birthed our agency, right? Let's wrap this concept in a bow. It's a 3-phased approach that is spectacularly simple. You just need to be consistent, okay? It's a 3-phased approach. We're going to build the car, which is you're going to build your profile. You're going to build your content out. You're going to drive the car, right? You're going to grow your network. You're going to drive your content. And then phase 3 is you're going to automate. You're going to pre-qualify. Yes, you guys have nailed it.
Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word updates to 1-833-310-7171. Again, text the word updates to 1-833-310-7171. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. I cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social because I love
hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.